How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Oh, all right. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday?
Good.
Okay,
Good.
good, good. All right. Before I forget,
Yvette's doing terrible.
oh, you're doing terrible.
Yeah. Maybe y'all can help me out. My ex-boyfriend decided to move on, so I'm devastated.
Yeah, you gotta move on too, then.
I know, right? All right, but I'm good.
Just use this as a time of growth, a time to get. I know it's tough those first couple of weeks, but after a while, you'll feel okay. You'll be going into that why me situation. Why?
Right. Right. I can't wait. I can't wait to get to that stage.
How long were you with him?
4 years. We were together for 4 years, and but we haven't been together. We kind of been broken up for a year. But we still maintain like a good friendship. We talked all the time and hung out from time to time and stuff. But since I wasn't ready to get back in a relationship and things, he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and move on with my life. So I was like, as you should. I respect that. But I'm just sad now. I'm really sad.
Well, a year is a lot of time, so you should be over.
I know, but the thing, we never like, it's like we weren't officially like a couple, but it was still like we had each other, but now it's like we don't talk. He's not my go-to guy, like none of that anymore. So it'll be
only
fine.
be sad and you could cry for 10 minutes and then you have to stop and that's it.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
get a good 10 minutes? That's what I do. I get a good 10 minutes and then I was like, okay, enough. That's enough.
Okay.
You a cute girl. You could get anybody, but this is the time to build your business.
Right. That's what I said. I'm gonna focus on what I got going on and what I got to do.
Yep. And your little cute little puppy.
Thank you.
All right. Well, before I forget, since Yvette just tossed us through us for a moment, I want to let you all know that next Wednesday we will have a guest speaker. So he is going to be joining us next Wednesday. I have not had a guest speaker join this group, but this will be the very first time. So I think you guys will enjoy him. He's going to be talking about building your business credit and setting yourself up for success. So I will honestly say for myself, I have been building my business credit. I built my business credit when I first started my business. Let me back up. I didn't when I first started, but probably about 10 years ago, I started and I just kind of left it sitting there. And about 3 years ago, I really began to be a little bit more aware of what I was doing. And I'm going to say a little over a year. It's been over a year now. I have truly been just very focused on building the credit. And I'm actually at a good point with building my credit right now with the business, as far as the credit lines, as far as everything. So I won't complain, not at all. I will not complain. I have not actually gone out and purchased a car, but that's only because I don't really need a car right now. I already have 2 cars myself, and so I don't need a car. That's the only reason why I haven't ventured out that way. And I was contemplating Airbnb, that too, but Turo, but I'm just not sure of where the market is going right now. So I'd rather put the brakes on and do an investment in something else that I have up my sleeves. But I wanted to bring him on and allow him to have a good conversation with you ladies, since you are all somewhat in the infancy, but not in the infancy stage, if you know what I mean. But you need it, especially if you expect to grow and scale your business. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right into today's lesson. For some of you, where is, there's two people missing. Well, it's Tina
Sorry.
and Shannon. Tina and Shannon are missing. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into today's lesson so that we are not on here doing a lot of small talk like we've been doing the last couple of weeks. And Monday night, was it Monday night? I mean, all this week, last night I was on the phone, on Zoom with my clients we were just having conversation about different things. So it's been all good, but for all of us. So let me share my screen and prepare this slide and make sure we're on the right slide. And we gotta make sure we are recording tonight. Let me make sure. Record. All right, so we are going to talk about hunting today. We are talking about whale hunting. And when you think of a whale, you think of something, you guys only see the whale, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So when you think of a whale, you think of someone that's out in the ocean and eating up everything and everybody. So that's kind of what we want to take this concept and just be the big whale and just go after everyone, okay? So what is whale hunting? We're gonna talk about what is it, why should you whale hunt, what are some of the things that whales care about, and we're gonna talk about who is our whale in this concept and what we're talking about tonight. Creating your message and offer and the hunting strategy and touch points. And then we're going to talk about some actions. And I forgot to let some of you know that are in my other classes, but some of you don't know. But I have officially been kicked off of Facebook. I am no longer on Facebook. I made a post in Association of Black Tax Professionals last week. It was an innocent post. It was, can someone recommend a printer? And Facebook shut me down and asked me to upload my picture. And then on Sunday, I got an email saying that my account was permanently disabled and to download all of my file and to log out. So that was Sunday. Yesterday, I attempted to try to open up another account. I cleared my cookies. I set up a new account in Gmail. I did everything. I got the account up and probably like 10 minutes into it, a big old flash popped up and said, please upload. No, it said, please put in your phone number. So I don't have multiple cell phones. So I put my daughter's cell phone and she got the 6-digit code. I put it in. And then when I put it in, it said, please upload your identification. So I didn't go any further because I didn't want them to compare the two accounts, and I just left it as is. So for right now, I am officially off of Facebook until I figure out another way to get back on Facebook. I do have some things up my sleeve, but I'm gonna let it die before I just show back up on Facebook. But I had been consistently blocked every time I would make a post in Association of Black Tax Professionals. They don't know exactly what it is. I don't know what it is, but I have not done anything against community standards. So I say all this to share with you guys. You can't find me on there, but I also share with you guys that I have been stressing to you to make sure that you build your lead magnet book so that you can generate your own leads. I sent an email to my team tonight and asked them to send an email to my list, letting my list know of what has occurred. And so I stress to you guys, we don't own these social media platforms. So pull the names off the list while you guys have an opportunity. You know, if any of you were in my group, you would see one of the questions was, provide me with your email. That was our way of capturing emails besides our lead magnets, okay? So we do have a list, so I'm not totally bummed, but you know, it was a platform where, you know, we showcased ourselves. So my phone tells me how many hours I've been on the phone. And Monday, when it popped up, it said screen time was lower than the previous week. That's because I wasn't on Facebook Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, I have to look at the good and look at the bad. And so I'm a positive person. I'm like, God has something greater for me. He wants me off of Facebook at the moment. And so it is what it is. I do have some coaching courses in which I'm a student and they post in there. So I just had to reach out to them and say, hey, I can't retrieve the material, yada, yada, yada. So lesson in all this that I'm passing along to you ladies is, please, I can't stress it enough. We saw it last month when Facebook and Instagram was down. So you guys can learn the hard way or you can learn the easy way to start getting those leads so that you are collecting that material. And you're not relying on Facebook or any platform for that matter as your main source of income. Okay, so hopefully that helps somebody and kind of another eye opener. All right. So what is actually whale hunting? That's what we're going to be talking about. What is whale hunting? Whale hunting is the process of finding, attracting, and onboarding clients that make over $1 million. Okay, so I need for you guys to make sure that you're taking copious notes tonight because you guys want to find clients that make over $1 million, right? I had a conversation yesterday in one of my classes and this same concept. She went to a conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and one of the guest speakers indicated that she charges $197 for bookkeeping services. I won't give any names, but bookkeeping services, that's our industry. And our conversation pretty much was, well, who is her ideal client? If we all think about it, at $197, it has to be a brand new business owner that just slid in and trying to get their feet wet. And what is she doing? She's popping out a profit and loss, a balance sheet, no statement of cash flow, and she's giving it to them. They probably have very minimal transactions, such as some reoccurring, some this and that, and that. But it's probably easy. But even at $197, and she claimed she was making $200,000 between bookkeeping and credit repair. So I'm smart. I did the math. I took 200,000, divided it by 197. That's a lot of clients to do some bookkeeping with. Now, I didn't factor in the cost of her credit repair. So if you take, she's probably charging them $99 for credit repair, $197 a month for bookkeeping. That's $300. You still do the math. Take 200,000 divided by 300. That's a lot of clients. So I keep telling you guys, work harder or smarter. With clients that are paying $397 and they're brand new in the industry, I bet you she's bombarded with a lot of questions. Bombarded with, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you set up an EIN? How do you call Secretary of State? How do I pick up my phone and down? So those are the kind of questions she's bombarded with, but so do you guys want to work with those, or you want to find, you want to be the well, and you want to find out where are your $1 million clients? Because trust and believe, there are tons of $1 million clients out there, you guys. And God knows he took me off of Facebook for a reason, because I just hopped over to LinkedIn and you know that they're over there. So you guys need to merge over to LinkedIn. And I think I went through all of your accounts on purpose this past week and friended you guys because I got kicked off. Did you guys get an invite from me? Yeah, because I got kicked off. I'm like, let me just get on over
I'm
here.
already friends with you on LinkedIn.
Well, if you were my friend, then I didn't have to ask you again. But that's why I just like, let me just slide to the left and get over where I need to be, because that's where the $1 million are. Okay, those are where the people are that really, really, they really, really mean something. And if any of you have spent any amount of time on LinkedIn, you should be able to agree with me that that is where the money is. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not on Facebook. but I said the $1 million, over $1 million, the real money makers, okay? So in exchange for $1,500 a month or more, we provide compliance and value-added services, often referred to as CFO services. I have been drilling this in you guys' head, CFO services, CFO services, and CFO services. Each and every one of you, with the exception of Stephanie, only because she hasn't gone through the kickoff meeting with me, and Regina, I don't think I was doing my kickoff meetings when you came on board, but I still think we did this. When we sit down, I always share with you guys where the money resides, and that is with CFO services, tax planning, and you guys can put your own little twist on it, bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services. CFO services sounds so much sexier to $1 million business owner or more than bookkeeping. Because when he or she is thinking about bookkeeping, they're probably thinking, and I'm not, nothing against what I'm about to say, you guys know I speak. They're probably thinking, oh, my niece can do that. Oh, my daughter can do that. So do you want them to have that vision, or you want them to have the vision of they're bringing in skilled, qualified individual that can help them grow their business and take their business to a different level? They're bringing in someone to help them do some of the things that they cannot do while they are growing the business. Okay, so over $1 million, value added, compliance. We've all heard there is a difference between compliance and planning, compliance and preparing. And we usually hear that in the concept when this time of the year, when people say there is a difference between tax preparation and tax planning. Tax planning is planning you for the future, planning so that you can assist your client with implementing some strategies to reduce their taxable income, defer their income. Tax preparation, you're complying with the deadline that the IRS says we are shutting down November 20th, and this is real talk right here. We are shutting down November 20th, and all individual returns will not be accepted until we reopen in probably late December or early January. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but they are shutting down. They do this every single year, a little earlier this year, but they're shutting down. The last day for electronic returns will be November 20th. So go to the IRS website, do your own research, okay? So that's compliance, meeting the deadline, filing the return, doing what the Internal Revenue Service or the agencies have requested of us. Why should you well hunt? I've given you enough clues already, but let's talk about why you should well hunt. So let's break this down. The breakdown of businesses in America, if you look here, businesses that have revenue between 0 to 100,000 typically have 1 employee. And for purposes of the lesson today, I need for you guys to separate and segment an employee versus an independent contractor, because they're totally different. When we think about $1 million corporation and we think about one that has independent contractors versus one that has an employee, they're different. So if a corporation has an employee, even for tax purposes, and we go back to that compliance and value-added services, if they have an employee, a couple of things. The employee is dedicated. The employer is responsible for paying employer taxes. And also, as the employer is probably getting more benefit by having an employee versus an independent contractor. When we think about an employer who is making $1 million or more, he or she needs an employee, because at that point, they need tax reduction, they need strategies for reducing their tax liability. So if they pay Joe $50,000 a year as an independent contractor, they're able to write off that 50,000, but they make so much money. They, at this point, they don't care. They do, but they don't, if you guys know what I mean, that they're paying the employer related taxes. So just, watch this little chart. I'm sure nobody's in the waiting room. So between 100 up to 100K, usually one employee, there's about 22 million business owners in that category. Between 100 and 300K, an employer usually has 2 to 3 employees or independent contractors. It's 1.7 million businesses in that category. 300 to 7 million, 4 to 10 employees, and it's about 1.9 million. The reason why I'm giving you these numbers off to the side, the 1.9, the 900K, the 30K, is because I want you to get a big picture, is that there's plenty of whales out there for you guys to go and swim and find. Everybody is not up here in this bracket up here. There's plenty down here, but you have to sell yourself. You have to know how to go find them. And when you find them, let me see who's in this room. Is it just us in here? Okay, I could talk. This is recording. Hold on.
Tina's trying to get in. She messaged me. I sent her the link. That's who's missing.
Well, she's not in the waiting room or nothing.
Oh, I sent it to her. She should be coming, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm just not gonna bite my tongue. Listen, y'all. You see all this? You see the people down here? It's plenty of people that make over $1 million. When the opportunity is there, do not sit on your butts. Go after it. If they need a contract, send the contract out. I'm talking to Tina right now. And Tina, when you listen to this recording, I am specifically speaking to you. I need for you to get off your butt and send that contract out. Send the contract out, because what's going to happen, you're going to lose it, Tina. You waiting too much time has passed. So please send the contract out. If you want to get right in here with these people right here, you have to act fast. When someone is requesting service and they've requested it over and over, you can't let 3 and 4 weeks go by. There's other fish out there that they can go to capture this. So I really had a self-talk conversation with myself since we talked on Monday, or was it Tuesday? Monday, about in our bookkeeping class about you sitting on that client. Please get that contract done and go after that money. Stop sitting on it. Okay? If you need help, raise your hand. All right?
A
So
sense of urgency.
all of that and more. So, getting there faster. When we focus our efforts on attracting high-paying clients, we work smarter and not harder. Bam, I just said it. When we concentrate our efforts on getting those high-paying clients, we work smarter and not harder. Okay? I've preached this over and over and over again. I'm gonna give you guys my concept. 10 at 5,500 versus 30 at 500, however many you want in that 500 bucket. Okay, so we can systematically onboard less clients, work less, and make more money. Let me say that again. We systematically onboard less clients, work less, and make more money. I don't see her in the waiting room. So I don't know where she's at. Oh, here she comes right now. Okay. So we systematically onboard less, work less, and make more money. All right. 500 times 6. Yeah. Okay. If you have them at 500, you have, this is monthly, 500 monthly, 6 clients, that's $30,000, $36,000 annually. Y'all do the math, and it's right here on the paper for you. Okay, or 1,500 times 6 months, 9,000. It's $108,000 annually. So I'm sitting here today, like, not today. Well, it all started last week when I got kicked off of Facebook because I was thinking about what I was going to get my clients for Christmas and my Christmas cards. But I was thinking, what was I going to get my clients? Because if you guys do the math, you take 5,500 times 12, that tells you what my client, one client, or however many I have in that boat, have paid me for the year. And I'm like, well, what am I going to get them for Christmas? So this is 6 clients at 108 annually. I think if I get that. No, that's one client. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's 6 clients at 1,500. But I'm thinking, like, if I had one client that paid me 60, and now I have 5 clients that have paid me 60,000 a year, what can I get them for Christmas? So that's how I ended up getting kicked off. It all started with that thought. Okay, sitting here last Friday thinking. So again, get there smart, faster, and smarter. What do the whales care about? I need for all of you to write this down. Tina, you just jumped in and I got on you. So I need for you to listen to this. I'm not going to even like cover it up. I did talk about you really bad. Like, I need for you to go and do what you need to do and stop sitting on the money. Okay. So I want for you to make sure you go back and you listen to the video. But what do the whales care about? What do they seriously care about? The whales care about, in order to attract the whales, that make over $1 million, we need to know what their problems are, their challenges are, and their pain. I understand right now you're trying to figure out how do they currently process? Do they have any back taxes? Who's handling what? I understand you trying to understand the restaurant situation. You have enough information to know what the unique problems are, what the challenges they face, and what the pain points are. The pain point is the man came to you and said, this is what I need and I need it now. That's his pain. He need an aspirin, and if you don't hurry up and get it to him, it's gonna be a migraine. Okay? So let's act fast. So the whales care about you understanding what their problem is, their challenge, and how you can overcome and help them get through the problems that they have. We do this by conducting market research and putting ourselves in the shoes of our clients that make over $1 million. Hence, this is another reason why it is so critical for us to narrow down to the audience of one and identify who it is that we want to work with, so that when we get clients that are in the restaurant industry, construction, real estate, dentists, whomever, we know their problems. We understand what they're going through. We understand their pain points. We understand it all, so that each and every time we just rinse and repeat, instead of going through the process of doing a market research each and every time, trying to figure out how I'm going to set up the accounting. Do they have inventory? Do I need to go out and conduct a market search? You know, what do I need to do for the truck drivers? The truck drivers have these tickets. These tickets, well, are they regular tickets? What kind of tickets are they? That's not my industry. I did a few truck drivers in the past, but I do know that truck drivers, when they go from state to state, interstate, they get a ticket, whatever. That's not my industry. But guess what? I would have to go do some market research to really, really understand, interview a few truck drivers and ask them what are some of the pain points that they have. So if we are going to hunt for these whales, find these whales, we need to have our game tight and right. Okay. Yeah, we all heard this thing, fake it till you make it, but we can only fake it so long if we are dealing with $1 million business owners. Okay. We can only fake it so long. Just hear me, understand that. Before we dive into the market search, we've already compiled a list of challenges that can speed up the process. Okay. And, you know, she talked to me a couple of weeks ago about truck driving. She kind of has an idea. She knows what's going on with the truck drivers. So she can write down some of the list of things that she wants to really learn and hone in on, and she can go interview some truck drivers. She can go interview some other accountants, for that matter, CPAs, whomever that are in the industry that focus on this particular niche. They may be kind of selfish, but you might find some that'll give you the information. But be prepared to do some research. Understand what it is that you're getting into. Regina, nonprofit. Understand when they get government funding or any type of funding, not just from the government, the state, these local agencies, understand what are some of the back end requirements. What is required when you get this money? You know, like, do they have to go through a mid-year audit, a money audit after the money is spent, progress audit? What are the requirements? I have a client right now. I only do their nonprofit return, but now I'm doing a review. And so I read and I follow instructions. So the client gave me the instructions per the issuer. I followed the instructions. I provided her with my review. Yesterday, I got an email back and says, I really hate to bug you, but I think I gave you the wrong information. And so I was kind of pissed and I was like, let's do this. Can we set up an appointment with the issuer on Thursday so that I can hear it from the horse's mouth? What's the requirement? I said, because first of all, there is a huge difference between a full-blown audit and a review. There is a clear difference, a line, you could draw a line down the middle as to what I need to do for a review versus what I need to do for an audit. This clearly stated that I needed to do a review, and so that is what I needed. That is what I did, and that was my write-up. But the agency told her it was wrong, and so the client more than likely gave me this information, but I have a meeting tomorrow to get to the bottom of it. Luckily, I have someone that works on the inside, and I picked up the phone and said, hey, I got this client, blah, blah, blah. Can you give me a sample of what I need to complete for her? And she was like, who's the client? So I ended up, she's like, you know, that's my client. I was like, oh, well. Oh, well, but this is like a sister of mine. You know, we grew up from elementary school. So she was like, I done told that lady time and time and time again. She's like, she's been with us for 10 years. We put them through education. So it was the client, but I needed to do my research. You all need to do your research on whoever it is you're working with, whatever industry, so that when these premium clients come to you, you're not like, what do I do? And you have to think it through over and over again. We've all been there. We've all been there. But I want to prepare you guys so that it doesn't frequently happen. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, I'm on slide. Come on. Okay. What do whales care about? They care about increasing revenue. We all care about that, right? Some of the best ways to increase revenue are, let's write these down, ladies. Buying a competitor, merger and acquisition. For example, H&R Block focuses on buying small mom and pop stores across the nation. I don't know about you guys, but every single year I get an email or a solicitation phone call from H&R Block trying to buy me, whether it's someone, whether it's LA County, Ventura County, wherever. I always get all this solicitation. And here's the deal. Our information is public record. When we become an organization, our information is public. I'm speaking of California for one, but for all of us, our information is public. But in California, when we register, because we have to register through CTEC, we have an option of checking a button to release our information or not release our information. And then with the Secretary of State, our information is public to say that we are tax professionals. Therefore, H&R Block can go and buy the list and our name is on the list on both or one or the other, and they start soliciting us. So that's one way that you can propose to one of your clients or your client, about a merger or an acquisition. But I said two things, a merger or an acquisition. If you're not skilled in a merger and acquisition, baby, you cannot do it. But part of building lateral partnerships, and all of you must do this, building lateral partnerships will save you. Anne is in Texas. She may know someone that's in Texas that is a CPA that specializes in IPOs, mergers, acquisitions. Y'all got to get up, get off your tail, go to these conferences and meet other people in your industry or in like industries that you can work with. Okay, there's someone that does that. Ann doesn't do it. I'm not saying you don't, Ann, but Ann doesn't do it. So Ann needs to network, collaborate so that she can increase her dollar value that she's proposing to these wells. So I'm going a lot of different ways today, y'all. So if Ann is charging this man $7,000 a month, but Ann gets a certain piece of the project that she can't handle, Ann needs to take some of that $7,000 and outsource it to somebody else so that the work is still getting done and Ann still has the clients. That $7,000 is not just going to seep out of Ann's pocket every month. It's just for a specific project. You guys get where I'm going with all this? I network, I outsource work all the time because there's some things that I can't do. Okay? So anyway, this is how we can increase our revenue. Adding additional monthly recurring revenue. Big companies like Amazon that are real business are measured and sold by its monthly recurring revenue. I don't know about y'all, but I can actually speak for myself. I order so much from Amazon that and I don't know if it's me or just those that order on a regular basis. I have a regular day of the month now that Amazon delivers most of my stuff. So it's like on the 16th of the month, that's when they want to do just like ship everything. And those are the things that I frequently buy, or some of the things that I have on recurring order. They just automatically on the 16th of the month now. Okay. That's recurring revenue for them. They know that, every month on the 16th, all the customers that they ship to, if they're on terms, they know the terms are net 30, within 30 days, they're going to get paid. Or if it's due immediately or they've done a credit card or whatever, they know they're getting paid. Right? So I need for you guys to take your small cap off and put the big cap on. And I need you to start going after these wells. Okay? They added Prime membership service now that has over 1 million paid Prime members. I remember I would go off and on Prime, but I don't go off and on Prime anymore. I stay on Prime because it's a perk. Since pandemic hit, I barely go to the grocery store. I order like all the major things through Amazon, the detergent, the coffee, all of that stuff through Amazon. And it comes to me on the 16th of every month, or if I want to not get it every month, it'll come every other month, every quarter, however. But that's not me being lazy. That's just me utilizing my time because I'm in here making money. So anyway, expansion, adding the different locations, vehicles, assets and whatnot. These are all ways that you guys as the CFO adding value to your client. You guys should never get in the mindset of just processing profit and loss and balance sheet. That sucks. And then if you lose a client because that's all you're doing, you're gonna wonder why, like, what could I have done different? Value added service will always get you. I swear, I have a client in Florida, and because I value the client, and because I value her, she pays me every month too. But because I value her, she's in the midst of closing a home, purchased from ground up. I have extended service to Tammy, like just call me on my cell phone. You guys know that I don't play the cell phone game. And she respects it. She will say, I know you're not in the office today, but I wanted to leave you this message. And so, I respect it. I called her back. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I mean, we're on the phone for maybe 54 minutes, but it was a very intriguing, enlightening phone call where we were really sitting doing some strategies on what we needed to do between now and the end of the year for tax purposes, and so that she closes on her home. Those are things, those are nuggets, those are things that your clients value in you. And when things get tight, maybe it's not a good year, a good quarter, and we as small business owners, small business owners still, and they want to think about where can they cut down some expenses, they're going to keep you on board. I can tell you, I'm like, slash this one, slash this one, slash this one, slash this one. You can't afford it right now. So when you give them value and you build this relationship, they think twice about, well, I really do need the accountant. I really do need this bookkeeping service. I really need this CFO. I can't give it a Cosette. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. I'm in a crunch right now, but I'm gonna hang on to her because she was there for me. You know what I mean? So just think about these small things. Research and development. Big companies know that creating intellectual properties can give them an unfair advantage and drastic increase in revenue by providing more value to the marketplace. So software, patents, trademarks, copyrights. You may not see this as frequently, depending on what industry you're in. Believe it or not, the lady that I was just sharing with you, she's in the beauty industry or cosmetology industry. She actually has trademarks and copyrights, and we're still trying to do more. Again, that's not so much in my lane, but when we think about strategy together, she and I, and we think about pricing, I mean, we get into some deep conversations. So these are all value-added things that I want you guys to just think about. And trust me, all you guys are capable of thinking outside the box, being creative. You just got to listen to your client, and sometimes don't act immediately, but just go sleep on it, think about it, ponder over it the next day or so, call your client back. I was thinking about what you said. Here's my idea. Here's this, here's that, whatever the case may be. You may not be quick to think on your feet, but we're all analytical because we're all of us on this call are, numbers people. So we think a lot. So after the fact, after you thought about it a day or two, pick up that phone, call that client. They love it, okay? Improving in efficiency, automation. Oh my goodness. If you help a client automate, say from spending 5 hours in the morning looking at emails to 30 minutes in the morning looking at emails, they will love you. Automation, no shame, but I really want to say these millennials, they know how to do things in such a way that it just saves time. It saves time. And if you can save them time is money, and show them how it's increasing the revenue, it's helping the organization, it can eliminate where not necessarily an employee per se, but it can eliminate Joe spending 8 hours running reports and doing them manually, where I can show you how we can set this up, click a button, and you have the report already, okay? Efficiency, okay? Let's go back to this because I just saw restaurant. I want you guys to think, oh, never mind. I was gonna age myself. I was gonna say, I want you to think about a restaurant. Remember back in the day, they used to have to count the money back to us. Now the machine tell them, right? How much to give them. That's efficiency. These young kids don't have to think. Then they don't know how to count their money either. So, but anyway, um, software, software. We are all in this right here. If someone could just drop a little carrot in front of us and say, here's your system, we would all be happy. We would want to figure out how we can upload tax documents, have it upload to the software and kick the numbers out without us thinking about it, right? All we have to do is recite it back to the client. That's efficiency. But then some of us would probably be second guessing ourselves, like, is it right? Am I gonna be in trouble? You know, but that's efficiency, streamline, CRMs, KPIs. When you implement those KPIs, ladies, they love you. How many of you have actually worked with a client that, number one, they probably didn't know what KPIs were, but once you implemented them for them or showed them what they were and how they can help their organization, they probably loved you. And you drive them like, Michelle, you looking at the KPIs? Are you showing them to the team? Are you guys meeting every Monday like I told you? We missed this one. You gotta do that, Michelle. That's why you missed the number up the third week, because y'all didn't meet last week and you were short. You gotta stay on your customer, your clients. And that's why if you have 10 at 5,500 versus a bunch at 500, you can't service everybody. This making sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because y'all like looking at me. Makes sense, that's all I need to know. Okay. All right. Cutting expenses. A great idea. Employees, unnecessary job titles, positions. Alternative services, insurance, suppliers, vendors. So let me back up for a second. The clients that I tell you guys about in Florida, we do this. I had her cut shipping. I had her cut her boyfriend that actually works for her in shipping and receiving. I was like, we got to cut him. We cannot show him on this payroll if you're trying to get this home. You know, you have to make these suggestions to them. They see it, but they don't see it. And this is another reason why business owners say this. I know I'm making money, but I don't see it in my bank account. How come I made, $1 million this month, but I only have like 400,000 in my account. I want to close the year with $1 million in my account. You got to stop spending. You got to look at your numbers. You got to look at some things differently. So it's a hard pill to swallow for some of them, but in the long run, they love you. Okay. Alternatives, I already said all this. Increasing stock value. We may not, depending on who we are working with, this may not always be applicable, but have a company stock price is what the investors are willing to pay for it. Investors commonly buy stock when they believe its price is going to be higher, hoping for a profit at a later date. Okay. This may be applicable, it may not. It really depends on the type of client that you are working with. All right. But these are the things that your clients care about, especially the ones that are $1 million and over. The ones that are $1 million and over, ladies, a lot of them are at a point where they are trying to position their organization and prepare it to sell. And some are not really worried about selling. They're just like want to grow. But I see a lot of business owners that are looking to position and grow it to a point where they are strong enough to present an offer, sell it, etc. Okay. Business value. How much is it worth? Again, preparing for sale. Investor expectations. Value is looked at 10 to 20 years down the road. So if investors think that the company will be very profitable in the future, they're going to raise the stock. These are all things that you need to have conversations with. And it really depends on your client once again. Some of your clients are not ready for this, but these are things that the whales want, ladies. These are the things that the whales want. And I hate to, sounds like I'm being discriminating, but when you have men that are your clients, they really have this conversation right here, okay? They really go here. All right. Regulatory compliances, federal, state, Department of Transportation, Wall Street Reform, SOX. These are all compliance that you guys need to make sure that you are on your toes if you're going into certain industries. You know, DOT is the truck drivers, the Department of Transportation, Wall Street Reform, SOX, of course, is, you know, finance, accounting, public companies. You have to understand what the SOX regulatories are, okay? I worked in manufacturing, I worked in public accounting, so I lived it, dreamed it, had audits mid-year, every quarter, you name it, and everything was based upon SOX. Okay, and that's this last one. It's SOX. Okay, not SOX. Deep dive analytics. Now it's your turn to take a deep dive into what your particular niche cares about. So this is the time for all you guys to clearly get a grip on what is it that the truck drivers want, the real estate wants, the not-for-profit, the restaurants, the, I keep forgetting yours, Stephanie. But what is it that your industry truly cares about? Huh?
Real estate agents.
Okay, real estate. What does the real estate agent really want? How do they know how to get that commission check and save a portion of it for taxes? Put a portion of it away because they may not get another check for a couple of weeks down the road. But how do they manage that? You know, what are some of the things that they really care about? Those are the things that I need for you guys to concentrate on and get a clear understanding, okay? You will simply take each of the 5 key points that I've made so far, and you guys have got to do some Google research. That's the only way you're gonna figure all of this out. You guys can Google, what are the pain points for real estate? What are some of the issues that real estate agents have? What are some of the problems that truck drivers have? What typically gets nonprofit organizations in trouble with the Internal Revenue Service? Restaurant, what are some of the issues that restaurants have? You can Google it right now. What if, who, what, why? You can go find some videos on it. You can do some Google search. You can find plenty of articles on everything that you guys need to know. You can take those articles that you find, you know, 5 pain points, tracking expenses, staying compliant, whatever it may be. And then under those 5 areas, once you found items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put some bullet points underneath them, and then think about how can you help them overcome these problems that they have. And then once you lay that out, when you begin to start having conversations, they're going to say some of the things that you found, and you have some of the reasons or ways that you can help them overcome those problems. Okay. Example, how to increase revenue for real estate investors. What expenses, I just said, okay, it's all right here. All right. So creating your message and your offer. So creating your message and your offer. What kind of message are you going to put together for these individuals? You know, you found them on LinkedIn, you found Tina, you got a referral. What are you going to tell them now that you have them at your, you know, you're eye to eye with them, you're having a conversation with them? What are you going to tell them? Your message is only, your message is 30-second, is a 30-second value statement. I'm going to go through it in a minute. And your offer is the big promise. What are you promising them? What are the services that you're going to offer them to help them achieve the goal that they want, that they need, not want, that they need to accomplish? Okay, remember, you're the headache. You're the aspirin, you're the Excedrin, you're the Tylenol, you're the Motrin, you're the Advil, you're the pain reliever. So how can you help them overcome this massive headache, this problem that they have? You have to speak it, and you have to be able to articulate how you are going to help them overcome their problem. All right. So 30-second value statement. It should address 1 to 2 key points that they care about. So, who wants the hot seat? Who wants to be in the hot seat today, right now? Okay, Yvette. All right, so come off the speaker. Yes. So tell me your niche.
My niche is real estate professionals.
Okay, so we got 2, 3 real estate professionals in the group tonight. So what are 2 points that real estate professionals, 2 pain points that they experience?
Paying too much in taxes.
Mhm.
And I would say not knowing exactly like what they could write off, the different deductions.
Okay, so your 30-second value statement can be something like this. I help real estate owners. I help real estate owners determine how they are going to assess their commission check. And you don't have to be just like this, but assess their commission check and how you can save in taxes. Something along those lines. Those are the 2 pain points. That's not, pretty perfect or anything, but I've identified their 2 pain points that they have. Now, have I caught their attention? Because the purpose of this is to catch their attention. How do you make yourself stand out amongst all the 5 of us or 6 of us that are on this Zoom right now? What makes you stand out? So you have to grab my attention and say something that, what did you say? Let's continue this conversation. Okay. So let's see what I wrote in here. And you should be able to say it in 30 seconds or less. You should be able to ping one's interest, and you want them to ask themselves how. Okay, so everything that I pretty much just said. All right. So I help authority owners increase revenue past 5 million. You see how this 5 million, if I said 300,000 and you made over $1 million, you may think that I'm not going to be able to handle your situation, right? So you have to speak in their terms. If they are over $1 million, you have to, and you're going to know that they're over $1 million just by conversation. Something is going to have, you're going to do your research basically. So you're going to have some indication of what they are making. And I don't hate to say this, you guys know you can do like a lot of research on people. You can go to Dun and Bradstreet, you can get what they reported whenever they uploaded their last P&L and whatnot. So you can, it may not be current, it may be outdated, but at least you have some indication. A lot of them are outdated, I believe. But anyway, if you're trying to find out what ABC is making, just because you're doing some research, like Tina, you can go to Dun and Bradstreet right now and research that restaurant and see what they're making. But you probably got their taxes and whatnot by now. But you guys can get the information that you need. We know that the internet is going to give us everything that we need. So anyway, I help authority owners increase revenue past 5 million with efficient processes, hiring and regulatory compliance. Is this of interest to you? Yeah, I've been having this problem. I've been trying to find somebody. You perfect timing. You came just in time because I was telling my mother that I needed to find somebody. All of that and more. Okay. I help e-commerce owners increase revenue past 2 million with expense reduction and sales tax strategy. You said, commission, pay less in taxes, and you said understand how they can write off some of their deductions. Expense reduction, tax strategies, take out the word sales. Is this of interest to you? This is the type of value statement you all need to have with the wills that you are going after so that you can capture them. If you guys are doing the lessons that I gave you as far as the voice notes and hopping into individual boxes, these are the types of voice notes and or typed messages that you want to leave. Hey, Jeanette, I saw you on my page. Thank you so much. Just want to leave you a quick message. I help authority owners increase revenue past blah, 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 blah. Is this of interest to you? I'm just gonna park it right there and wait till she answers. I'm not gonna harass her. I'm gonna wait till she answers. And when she comes back, I'm just gonna say, great, how about we hop on a call for a quick coffee, or here's my link, let's get on a discovery call and let's talk about this a little further. Okay? That's how you're opening the doors to these $1 million business owners. And just do it on LinkedIn. Yes, I'm sorry, Yvette.
I just have a testimony that I got I got on a discovery call with someone from doing the sliding their DMs with the voice message, and I actually onboarded him just to do like a tax planning session. And maybe he will want to move forward with the services, but I was super happy. So I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, see, look at that. All right. So
Congrats.
yeah.
Thanks.
So okay, the how. Last, we need to list out how exactly we are going to keep our big promise. Okay, if we go back, we said that we increase revenue, efficient processes, higher and regulatory compliance, increased revenue, expense reduction, and sales tax strategies. We know how to do these things, but how are we going to implement and sell the big problem to the client? We've told them that we do this, but we need to tell them how we are going to do it, okay? So simply list out all the services that you offer or you can offer the big well that the big well needs in order to achieve his or her problem, in order to be that aspirin, that Advil, whatever you take are going to be. This will be easier once you lock in your first well. You will simply rinse and repeat. Okay. Once you know what the real estate industry needs, you're going to rinse and repeat. Once you know what the restaurant, rinse and repeat. A nonprofit, truck drivers, DOT, rinse and repeat. You know, you've done your research. You don't need to keep going and reinventing the wheel every time someone says, oh, I got a discovery call. You can pull out that list of that script, but you don't have to go and rethink all this because you've done your research. You put this to the side. You have the scripts that I'm going to share with you. And it's just like, because they all going to say the same thing. Every person in real estate going to say the same thing. I don't know if I'm paying too much. I don't know if I'm looking at the numbers right. I usually just give it to my CPA and I think she's charging me too much, or I don't know if she's saving me enough. She don't tell me nothing. I just take the stuff in, she give it back. And, you know, I give her my she has my QuickBooks. I don't even know if I'm paying too much for QuickBooks. You know, they say the same stuff. So you be the expert, you be the subject matter expert and share with them how you're going to solve the problem. That's what they want. How are you going to solve it? What's going to make you stand out from the 5 of us that are on this Zoom right now? Why are you different? Why should I come to you? Why should I select you? Okay. So tell them why. Sales tax. You guys know about Nexus, right? Tell them you stay current with them. you know, you attend education, you attend annual continuing education courses, it's required of you. You stay up on the latest things that's going on with QuickBooks. You know, you have to sell yourself, ladies. You can't just say, oh, I offer these services and here's my prices.
What is
Not
what is the
correct.
Nexus?
Nexus is, it's all about sales tax, and it has to do with when you're selling, when you are selling products and charging sales tax across the different states. You have to be in compliance. It's been a minute since I've read up on it, but you have to be in compliance with every state. You have to make sure that you have a sales and use tax permit. If you, let me make sure I'm saying this right. You have to be in compliance, have everything documented. It's been a minute, Yvette, but look up sales tax Nexus. And I'm gonna ask Ann, are you familiar with Nexus? And Stephanie too, because you guys are still in corporate.
I'm familiar. So a bit when you selling product, like I'm selling t-shirts to all 50 states, you have to indicate where your primary state is. So my Nexus would be Texas. But if Michigan has a different type of reporting, I have to be in compliant with Michigan, even though my Nexus is Texas, as well as whatever Michigan requires. Texas can also require that same thing, since Nexus is kind of like your home, your primary, where you're based out of.
So the main thing though, and what all of Ann said is, if you are in all 50 states, that's when it gets really ugly. Because you have
Yes,
to
indeed.
comply with every single state.
Filing, the person that's selling could possibly have to, pay sales tax in every single state. Sales tax is due at different times, different thresholds. Long story short, a lot of work.
And so, and to combat that, when you have a client that is e-commerce, you need to recommend to them, if they don't already have this in place, that they need a software that captures when they're selling, and they're tracking if they're selling to Florida, to California, to Missouri, to Michigan, to whatever, because the report needs to capture all the sales by state, so that at the end of the month, it spits out a report, sales tax to this state, this state, this state. And you need to know if you are reporting a sales tax return, doing sales tax returns on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, annual. You need to know. Otherwise, if you don't know, as the CFO for this company, then you're incurring penalties and interest for this client because you're not meeting and adhering to the deadlines. So, when we narrow down, just keep going back, when we narrow down who we want to work with, these are things, little things that we don't think about, but you have to take into consideration. I don't want to deal with e-commerce. I deal with my one client, and we have sales tax in a few states, but you have to think about, this is extra work for you. I'm sorry, somebody in the waiting room. This is extra work for you, because that means a couple of things. You're gonna need to do these sales tax returns. And if you don't know this without doing a research on that particular client or that industry, you're gonna undercharge yourself. Because what if the client has 7 sales tax returns that are due every month or every quarter, and you didn't think about that when you was pricing? And you didn't think about the fact that you need the overhead in your office, someone dedicated to do the sales tax. So if you're in e-commerce, and just think about it, and all your clients got sales tax, that means you need a dedicated person in your office who specializes in sales tax, that's going to get those, not tax, income tax, sales tax. Some of them you can upload online. Some of them you gotta mail in. It's different ways to upload the sales tax returns. So I stay away from e-commerce. But just keep that in mind, you guys. Okay. So the how to, understand, don't just speak the 30-second message. Be able to articulate the how you're gonna overcome the problem. Okay. Pricing. We already went through your spreadsheet, but as you can see along the side here in the yellow, I've indicated, what you could potentially charge them. As they go up in revenue, the price goes up. So, if you just fall right here in this little bucket here, you guys are cool. Here, it's almost like going to work for somebody again. I ain't trying to be funny, but, the three at the bottom. So, hunting strategies and touch points. The hunting strategy you are learning in the next module, which we'll be going through, are the same strategies that you use for the web. And the wells, as you know, are, say for instance, our tax pros and things like that, that you're not our tax pros, our tax preparation people, clients, that's what I'm trying to say. So the same way I've taught you guys how to go after those individuals, this is the same way, it's just a different scale and you're talking to a different individual. We're just making sure that everything is on point, because once we present this to we want to make sure that we're presenting ourselves in the best light. We want to come off with that first 30 seconds as on point, identifying 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 problems that we can help them overcome. And then we want to back it up with how we're going to help them overcome the problem that they have. Okay. So additional strategies, how can you get to these wells? Of course, we have social media. You can do direct mail or cold calls. Right now, this is exactly where we're at, this box right here. This is where we're at. Direct mail, I stay away from direct mail for tax purposes, but I do have direct mail going for speaker engagement. And that's where we send out the newsletter to corporations. And we don't do it heavy, but we do direct mail. And we do that by getting the Commerce of Chambers book and soliciting the companies that are within a certain distance proximity. Okay. Of course, let's talk about the direct mail. You can compile a list by using Google. You can, and again, I've already just said this. I work within 50 miles. Look at companies that I want to do business with, and we do direct mail to them. So everything we do track some of the things in the CRM, and we also track things on an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So I think that is just about it. What questions do you ladies have? I do have, just shut down. I do have a tracker that I'm going to give you all. Let me pull it up. Yeah, it talks about what's your well's mission, how you make the offer. The thing is really breaks down exactly how we went through today's chart. It's the same thing, but it's a sheet for you guys. So, we've been concentrating on going after, let's say the smaller wills, but after the tax clients. But I want you guys to focus on the bigger dollars and the companies that are $1 million and above. You will be happier as well. Yes, Tina.
I sent you an email. I was asking you, I don't know if you saw the email. I think I sent it yesterday.
I
About,
saw it yesterday when I got in. I had a crazy day yesterday.
Okay.
It was a request letter, right?
A template to request financials from a previous CPA firm. Do you have any templates on that?
I looked, I don't have a template on that, and I have a sample that I found online. I'll send to you though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what they're requesting, that I send a request for the financials.
But I didn't understand why they asking you to send a request.
Well, because what happened was the owner, he just asked him to send it to me because I asked him for a copy of his financials. So he sent that email, CC'd me to his accounting guy and previous, well, want to be previous, and
That'll
said,
make
hey,
sense, yeah.
he said, hey, guys, can you forward Tina a copy of what she's requesting from me? And then they said, well, she's got to send us in writing per the CPA, whatever guidelines, an
He should have put it in
authorization.
writing. He should have put it in writing because it's his company. He should have put it
request?
in writing. He should have requested, Joe Blow, and requesting that you send my financials to Tina Sellers. Because it's his company. Why are you,
Right.
how can you request the financial statements for somebody else? It's his company. He's releasing the liability. for
But
them
they're
to you.
Right, but they saying that I need to send a request so they can send him an authorization to release it.
Okay. That must be
So-
in Chicago.
Well, this guy's in Wisconsin. So should I just do up something for him? You know, from him, I mean, do it for him, but set up a request from him, from his accountants? Or should I do doing what they're asking? They're asking me to submit a request in writing just to them that I need his financials.
And you can keep it very simple. I, Tina Sellers, request that you guys release Joe Blow's tax returns for this particular period. Be very specific as to what you are requesting. If
Right.
it's January and April, only say for January and April 2020. If it's for 2019.
I was just gonna send for the last 3 years for the, I was
Don't
gonna,
say
s-
3
I-
years. Don't say,
Why?
list the 3 years out and list what you want
Right.
specifically.
I was gonna list the 3 years out, and then I was gonna ask for their P&L balance statement for last year. Well, the same 3 years. I was gonna ask for the same financial statements, which was the balance sheet, P&L, and their tax returns from all entities for the last 3 years and list the 3 years out. Do I need more than that?
No, and just sign it. Make sure it's signed and dated. That's all
Okay.
you need. Nothing.
All right, well, okay,
Mhm.
and that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So was tonight helpful? I'm gonna go around the room. I'll start down at my corner. Stephanie, was tonight helpful for you?
Yes, ma'am, always helpful.
Okay, so give me one nugget that sticks with you that you can take away.
I forgot what it was called, but it was 30, was it the 30-second?
Oh, the 30
Training or
second,
whatever.
the 30-second, I could say elevator pitch, but the 30
Yeah,
30-second pitch.
yeah, I like that.
Okay. Good. Regina? We can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. Taking on less clients at a higher fee.
Mhm.
That's what really stood out to me, because when you were talking about the lady doing the 197 and she had like 30, 40 clients or whatever, that's just like way too much going on.
Mhm.
You know, she thinks that she's giving them, she's really doing herself a disservice. But she thinks that, you know, by her having a lower fee, she can take more people. That's really going to help her income. And it's really not, because it's too much to keep up with it. She's doing too much work. And like you said, work smarter, not harder. So just, you know, elevate that price, take less on, and, you know, just get it done like that.
Okay, thank you. Tina?
Well, I know I missed some of the class, and the reason why I was trying to log in. Are you sending us a link before class for the accounting? So are we using the previous link?
No, you got a intro email, and on that email,
Right.
it's the same every week.
Okay, because I was looking for that. I couldn't find that. Then I thought, I'm like, where's that at? This has been a rough day for me too. Just with emails, looking for stuff. So it's that one. Can you do me a favor when we're done? Can you send that email?
Mhm.
So then I can just make sure I have that saved over into a folder, and then can just go to that, you know, and for me. So that's what I was trying to do. And I was on a different computer today too.
So as a recommendation, I can't tell you guys how to manage your files, but what I do when I get those, I use Outlook. So I saved them in Outlook, so when I go to today, which is the 3rd of November, and at 4:30, I just click on the calendar right there, and that link is there, and it just connects me to you guys.
That's exactly what I do. It's on
Mhm.
every Wednesday. I have it saved in my Outlook.
Yep, that's what I do. I just took her link from her email, added as a new appointment, put recurring, no end date. So every Wednesday I
Oh,
just have to
okay.
go right there on the
Yeah,
calendar.
and I don't know if you guys use Gmail, how it works, because I don't use Gmail, but I know I get appointments where it asks me to say, save in Gmail. And another thought, as I'm thinking here, since I'm not on Facebook anymore, it's funny, and I shared this with you guys as a, for yourself. Sometimes when we log on to some of these different apps and whatnot, it'll ask us to connect using Facebook. So on some of the things that I've been trying to get to this week, it'll say, enter in your information. And if I've already connected by Facebook, then I'm locked out. So just maybe we shouldn't be connecting using our Facebook and different things like that. Just create a password, a username and a password instead of connecting by one of these different Apples or Google or Facebook, because now one of them I can't even get in. So just something else. It's a lot when you start thinking about, you lost what you lost. So, okay. All right. So thank you. So anything else, Tina?
Yeah, so if I want to get a hold of you directly, because I know your email puts out a message 24, 48 hours, and then your thing, is there a message? How do we get
Email.
to you just directly?
Email.
Just email?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at that like several times a day?
I'm sitting at my desk working unless I'm gone. Yesterday I was gone to the courthouse.
Oh,
But
okay.
email.
Josette is like the president. You cannot get to her like that.
No, you
They're
can't.
trying to. You can't. You just can't.
No,
She's
no,
like
you can't.
Obama. She's the Obama. She's the Michelle Obama of Texas. You cannot get to her.
Oh, you're right.
I do work, but I mean, like, and sometimes I'll turn the email off because if you have your email on all day and you're answering emails, then you can't really be productive. So you have to set parameters. And I'm saying this to you, Tina, maybe set parameters as well. If you find that you're not getting much done. But yeah, I come in here in the morning, I'm answering emails, and then I turn them off, and then I'll put them back on at maybe right when I sit down for lunch, I may look at them again. But if I sit in here and answer emails all day, I wouldn't get anything done.
So if we call you and leave a voicemail, I just want to know a time and frame. So if I call you, need something or need to connect with you early in the day, you're
What
gonna
are
be
you
able
connecting
to.
with me for? That's why I truly allow this time for you guys to connect with me. If
In
we're in
case
a
there's a
different
question or a
capacity,
problem, in case there's a problem or a question that I need, with the client that I'm working on, or I need to answer a question, or I just need some information right then and there for a issue or just a question or something I'm working on. And you could answer that for me or help me with that at that
So-
time.
I would say, in all honesty, the best way is email. And I think most of everybody in here, including you, I have responded on email. Now, if it's Friday, y'all know I may not on the weekend, but if it's during the work week, Tina, I'm gonna answer you.
Okay.
Answer you. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And there's times, I mean, Ann has seen me, I go right back. She sends something, it's right back. But I'm sitting here at my email, but yeah, so I would say email.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you. And what did you, what stood out to you and what stood out?
What the whales care about. It was some things that we knew, like improving efficiency, cutting expenses, but kind of like some of the other bullets that you went over, that was really helpful for me to focus on and make sure, as I'm thinking of crafting my message and stuff, that I'm able to target my niche.
Okay.
The other question I had is, last week, because you were gonna be training with your admin, that they were gonna send over the pricing, the accounting and all of that.
I
But
just
I
trained
hadn't
with her
seen that.
before this meeting.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay,
literally just trained with her from 2 to 4:15, so
Okay.
that's on her list.
okay,
And
okay,
I told her to send them out to you guys in the morning. That's specifically what I instructed her to do. Because I said tonight when I get off, she'll have to render this and send everything to you guys tomorrow. Okay. Tina, one quick question. Have you, well, never mind, because we meet on Friday. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, have you narrowed down to a niche?
Yeah, I'd like to do restaurants. So it's going to be my niche. Right now, I just do business owners, people who own businesses. I specialize in Schedule Cs. But I would like to narrow the LLCs and corporate tax returns to restaurants, I think, because that's where I'm going to get a lot of my referrals moving forward. So that's where I want to focus on.
Okay, all right. So we meet on Friday. I believe it at 12:30 my time.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thanks. Yvette, something's on your screen. Is that on yours?
You said something on my screen?
It says slideshow, or is that mine? It says slideshow and Zoom, or maybe that's on mine.
Yeah,
Or-
maybe yours.
That's yours, because I don't see it on it.
Okay,
I don't see. So what I love is I really want to do more research on my industry so that I feel more secure and confident when I'm having these conversations with my potential clients. And so I have the language down and really understand the market. So that's what I'm excited to go do. And also just really focusing in on getting those $1 million clients, because I'm still like dibbling dabbling. It's like, I feel like if an opportunity comes my way and I can make some money, I'm like, okay, well, let me just make this money, But as we all know, it's overwhelming to do those things, especially for not enough money. So
so let me make this suggestion to all of you, and you probably have seen me do this, and I always have there's always a method to the madness. Each of you should plan to go live on Instagram with whomever is in your industry. Invite somebody. I asked Corvette tomorrow to go live. And that gives me an opportunity to interview them. It also gives me an opportunity to allow others to see me interviewing real estate folks. And I can ask them some questions that, I want to know about. So it's being seen, being heard, and being known, okay? So, yeah. So just keep that in mind. And on that note, this is a great segue into what I want to say to you guys. All of you have an opportunity. I will be doing a publication for Sheen Magazine. I'm going to feature men and women in the tax and accounting industry. I'll probably have the article released in December, right before tax season hits. So if you guys want to participate, I'll send you a link. Just as long as you follow the instructions and adhere to all the requests, you guys can be featured in there, in the write-up. It's Sheen Magazine, of course. And all you need is, it's simple. Once you get the link, you'll see. But you do need to provide me with 2 to 3 high resolution photos. And we need the photographer's credit, or if you want to give makeup credit, whatever you can, but you do need the photographer's credit. If you took the image and there's no photographer, then just put self-made or self, whatever. Okay, so I will send that link to you guys myself. It'll come via like a Google link, and you just fill out everything and get it back to me, and I'll give you a deadline. Okay. All right, anything else? I think I covered everybody. I don't know where Shannon is, but she'll get this. She hasn't been with us for a couple of weeks now. All right, well, you all have a wonderful, just so you know, Tina, if you email me tomorrow, tomorrow will be an in and out day, but if you need to email me, just go ahead. Tomorrow is hair day, and I'll be in the gym in the morning. Okay,
Okay.
all
Okay,
right. Okay. We meet on Friday.
all right.
All right, ladies, you guys have a good night, and all the information will be coming from Shona. It's Chona. She'll be sending it to you, okay?
Good night, everyone. Have a
Good
great night.
Good
night.
night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.